What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. Hopefully you had a good weekend overall. Had a lot of fun here. Did the Spawncast, took a look at the AT Games or At Games Blast plug-and-play system that's pretty bad, and talked about a few rumors around some Nintendo Directs. If you missed that, you can check all of that out on the channel. It's linked in the card above. Now, I do want to also say congratulations to Matthew. He won the fall game giveaway, and he chose Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. So that's that order is in, and it'll be sent out on launch day. And of course, we do have the Pokemon Let's Go giveaway going on now for two versions or two copies. People can pick them when that ends. That'll be the day before the game comes out, and get those shipped out then. So if you want to enter for that, you can do so in the link below in the description. Now, today we have a bunch of stuff to go over, including a new system that was announced. It's interesting because they strangely call out the Xbox One, the PS4, and the PlayStation 5, although there's a lot of weird things going on in the system that we're going to have to go over because it's odd. And let's get into some of the quick news to get started, though. Starting right away with Red Dead Redemption 2, we talked about how it appeared that it would be 2 discs. We looked at the box art on the back and everything. Well, it looks like someone actually got an early copy, opened it up, and yeah, there you go. There are 2 discs inside. This is from Kofi over on Twitter. And yeah, you can see a couple different shots, but yeah, it looks like there's a data disc that you have to put in first to install, and then you have a play disc, which reminds me of kind of the older days on the 360 with some games where you actually had like an install disc, and then you could play the game on the other disc. So this isn't new technically in gaming, but it's new for this generation because now we're dealing with 2 Blu-rays. So if we're going to have physical media next generation, which we all expect it to happen, then we're going to need the better Blu-ray drives that read the quad Blu-rays that hold up to 128 gigabytes. So that's something that probably will have to happen after seeing Red Dead Redemption 2 needing 2 dual-layer Blu-rays. Also, we saw Warframe a bit closer on the Switch. They showed it off in a live stream, and it looks like it's running pretty well in handheld mode. Honestly, this is a very impressive game to see running portably on the Switch at that degree. 30 frames what it looks like, because when they showed it on the camera, they had a frame rate counter because they have development Switch. And yeah, you can see it has 30 frames per second, and it also shows the amount of RAM. It's using 2 gigabytes of RAM, so it appears they're not even using the full amount that they have allotted to it, which if it's from what it was when it first launched, a gigabyte is reserved for the system, and then they have 3 gigabytes that is set up for the developer to use. So it seems like they have plenty of headroom there, which is good to see. And this is exciting. We're getting closer to it. It's coming out November 20th. So yeah, about a month or so now, you'll be able to play it. And it's going to be interesting to see that game on the Switch portably, and of course in dock mode and everything. But to see a game like that, Panic Button is doing some big things. They are very, very good so far this generation with the Switch, and I'm wondering, they keep kind of topping themselves. I know Doom and Wolfenstein 2 were really big projects that they managed to really knock out of the park, and Wolfenstein 2 also got an update, and it looks pretty close to the Xbox One version. I'll be honest, it's very, very close. But they keep knocking out of the park, and they keep doing bigger things. Now they're working on MMORPG, so what's next? What's the next big project they're going to port to the Switch? Because it seems like they're up for anything. Also, Tomb Raider on Steam is getting review bombed right now because, well, they put it on discount like a month after it came out. A lot of people, of course, early adopters for these games, buy it day one. They're really excited to play it, and I guess they expect their game to hold value for at least a little bit of time. I mean, maybe a month at least, right? Let's get through the holiday season. Let's get to Black Friday. No one really, if it gets discounted on Black Friday, people go, okay, yeah, it's Black Friday, but this game made it maybe a month, and then boom, 34% off on Steam, and people were not happy. They review bombed it. They're like, I like the game, but I feel burned because you discounted it a month after I bought it. But here's the thing, these games lose value faster and faster nowadays. Seriously, stuff goes on sale. Like Madden, nothing was on sale like a week later or something. NBA Live is the same way. I know there's sports titles and this is a bit different, but if the game doesn't sell like crazy right away and it starts to slow down like this kind of did, yeah, they're going to discount it to move extra copies they have, and that's kind of the way it is, except this one is different because it's digital on Steam, so they don't have copies sitting in a warehouse at a Walmart. This is a bit different, so I see why people feel burned. Review bombing seems weird, though, to do that. I mean, it's knocked down the mix now, and you could see right away that it was a ton recently, but probably not the best idea to put it on discount right away on digital storefront like Steam. You probably could have held off to like their winter sale or something. Also, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 got rated E10+, so that does look like it's happening. I know it's hard to believe because it feels like it's been a myth for a while, and then we get the reveal, we get gameplay, we find out more information, and now we are coming up to the release of Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm sure my old self back in 2005 when it came out, Kingdom Hearts 2 came out on the PS2, thinking, on the PS3 I'd be able to play Kingdom Hearts 3. Well, I had to wait an extra generation, but yeah, it's rated. It's ready to go. So at the end of January, we'll be playing Kingdom Hearts 3. All right, guys, some of the quick news out of the way. Let's jump into some of the bigger stuff. We're going to start right away with these Switch games that got pushed to 2019. And I'm calling them Switch games, even though they're on all platforms, but they've pretty much been advertised as Switch games. These are games that Nintendo has shown off in their Nindies presentations. And we all know when something like that gets shown off in a Nindies presentation, we kind of relate it to the Switch going forward. I mean, like Wargroove. I think a lot of people look at that and say, oh, that's going to be a cool game on the Switch, even though it's on PS4 and everything. Like, a lot of people look at that as a Switch title, but that game has been going through a lot of delays. I mean, it was debuted on the Nindies back in 2017, and they said it was going to be a 2017 game. And it got pushed to 2018, and we're like, okay, cool, to come out 2018. Well, they put out a progress report, and it looks like Chucklefish they're shooting for Q1 of 2019, and it did seem like when they were kind of talking about this, that this seemed like it's a pretty big project to take on because you'll be able to make your own boards and everything and share them online, and kind of looks like Advanced Wars, sort of mixed, I guess you could even say mixed a bit with Fire Emblem. This looks like a pretty cool game, and I think it's a game that's going to do the best on Switch, but it keeps getting delayed. Like, it keeps getting pushed back over and over again, and it's getting very close to Fire Emblem. This was a game that I think would have done better before Fire Emblem came out, and I think it's going to release, maybe, it could even be in the same month as Fire Emblem at this rate. It shouldn't release up against Fire Emblem. It definitely shouldn't release in the same month. So I hope they do get it out in Q1 because there's a chance Fire Emblem doesn't come out till Q2 of 2019. So we'll see what happens with that one. The other one is Shakedown Hawaii. That's another one that I thought was going to come out this year. It seemed like they were kind of pushing for it. We heard 2018. It was up on Steam, and we've seen some promotional material 2018. It looks like that's also coming out Q1 of 2019. And again, that's out on all. That's actually coming to the 3DS and the Vita, by the way. Strangely, apparently they're still doing it. They're still pushing for those systems. So good for them with that. And I liked Retro City Rampage. Good game. This one, of course, is getting pushed though Q1 2019. Another one that we saw in the Nindies presentation. I got really excited about, and yeah, I'll probably buy it on the Switch because it's another game that probably won't have severe graphical advantages across platforms. The Switch will probably be the best bang for your buck with portable and docked play. So yeah, two games that I thought were coming 2018. A lot of us did get pushed, and they are most related to the Switch, I think, for a lot of people because they've shown up in Nindies and everything. But definitely games I'm going to look on the lookout for going into 2019, the first quarter. Next up, let's talk about this new system that strangely named the Xbox One, the PS4, and the PS5 as systems that it will do something better than. Yeah, this is interesting because this is the new Intellivision system. Remember we talked about that earlier this year, that there was going to be another Intellivision system, and they were going to be announcing it at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and they did just that. And they introduced the world to the Amico, A-M-I-C-O, and they had a couple pictures there that people were taking at this convention, and they had a ton of information. I mean, just a metric ton, and we're going to go over all of that right here. The controllers are interesting. They fit inside the console, and they use wireless charging. It seems to kind of match up closer to what the Intellivision originally had, which were controllers that were stuck to the system. They're wired to it, and it looks like they're like touchscreen controllers, which is interesting. It has interactive lighting that's optional, like apparently the DualShock 4 light. Okay, it's going to be either between 149 and 179 of USD, and 10/10/2020 is when it's coming out. Now there are a lot of drawbacks, I think, to what they're trying to do here. Now, the one thing that they said it will do better, apparently, than the PS4, Xbox One, or even PS5 is 2D work, so 2D graphics. And I don't really know what they're talking about there because the 2D has changed a bit since the 90s, and the PS4, the Xbox One, PS5, they should be able to do 2D just fine the way 2D kind of works now, so I don't really know what that statement even means. I guess we'll find out. Apparently it's going to use 21st century chip, according to them, for 2D architecture. So they're really shooting for 2D style games here. They're not really into 3D games, apparently. Up to 8 Bluetooth controllers will work with the system, and you can also use a free phone app to control the game. So one of your phones, I guess, can act as a controller. Again, odd. But the weird thing that really caught my eye here was, you can only have E or E10 plus games only. So they don't want violent games on the system. They want it to be one that parents won't even have to think about. They'll just buy it because it's, you don't have to worry about, blood and guts and gore and everything. It's just going to be an E or E10 system. So another interesting idea there. And they're going mostly for no ports on the system. They're looking for quality over quantity. And I'm trying to figure out what they're shooting for here. This is not something that's going to compete with the PS4, the Xbox One, PS5. I mean, let's get that right out of the way. It's not, I don't even know if it's going to have a big market presence. Like, you're not going to see commercials on TV for this thing. If anything, they will look to tap influencers on YouTube and stuff to have them unbox it, show it off, and talk about it. They want all the games to be $2.99 to $7.99. So basically $3 to $8 per game. This sounds more and more like it's going to be closer to like an indie machine, essentially. But they apparently are going to help fund different games. In fact, they're saying there's no real monetary risk for people to show up and design for this, as they will cover that. And I guess take it out of royalties or whatnot. But apparently they are looking for smaller games that are cheaper, that we would have fun with. So, like, I'm looking at something like, I'm thinking about like Stardew Valley, because that's not technically 3D, that's isometric. I guess that would work on it. I mean, think of some of your favorite 2D style indie games. Platformers seem to be the big thing here, that are non-violent, that are E10, and that's kind of what they're shooting for here. Now, I don't know how well this is going to work in the marketplace, because I don't think grandparents are looking to buy a system like this to play themselves. Kids might look to, but then you're getting into the $150 to $180, so it's technically more expensive than a plug-and-play system. They also mentioned that it'll all be digital except for special edition games. And those will come on a disc. So I guess this can also play disc-based games that they deem appropriate to bring out that you can buy online, I guess maybe in their shop, or maybe they will actually try to put them on store shelves. This is odd. And it's not coming out for a while, right? It's basically not out for about 2 years, a little less than 2 years, 20. I don't know how well this is going to do. I think it might do better than the Atari VCS if they market it better. Yeah, that could work. I don't even know what the Atari VCS is. I know a lot more about this than I do about the Atari VCS, so far so good in that realm, and the VCS is supposed to ship out to me in July, so there you go. I guess they at least have more information out there. I'm interested in these controllers. They're all touchscreen. I didn't really see a lot of buttons on it. You guys want to let me know what you think about this Intellivision, this Amico. I don't even know if Intellivision has that strong of a name like they used to back in the day, in the 80s, but odd. Let me know if you would be interested in buying one of these, if it really is quality $3 to $8 games, EE10, and you could have up to 8, I guess, controllers synced. Is this something that you would be buying if it put out quality games that were $8? I guess they're indie games? Let me know. There's still a lot of questions about this, guys, but let me know what you think about this new system that did technically call out the PS5, the PS4, and the Xbox One, saying they'll do 2D better. Then our last bit of news, let me ask you a question. Did you think it was weird that Black Ops 4 launched without loot boxes or microtransactions or any extra monetization schemes beyond the $50 season pass that's in there? Because that's crazy, by the way. But do you think it was weird? Because I kind of did. I looked at it and said, wow, they don't have any loot boxes or any way to nickel and dime you beyond that 60. Well, they're adding it in. Yeah, it's interesting, by the way, that they're doing this, because this is coming after reviews, and it looks like it's already live now, but the way that they're going to get money from you is actually going live in November, and this is something that is kind of similar to Fortnite, but it's called the Black Market. And what this is going to be is it's going to be a shop, essentially, that unlocks different things as you play, and it's going to give you a free seasonal battle pass system, and it's going to be named Contraband. And what this lets you do is unlock sprays, emotes, specialist blackout skins, weapon skins. You get all of those just by playing, which, okay, sounds interesting, until you find out that the Black Ops 4 Black Market will also have a cash shop. This is going to go live in November, and the cash shop is exactly what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like they're putting in loot boxes, though. According to Activision, this is the place to go for direct purchase of certain pieces of gear with limited availability. The shop refreshes weekly with a variety of items and gives players another way to get cool content, which, yes, means you're going to be paying an amount and you're going to get something in return for that amount. So it's not going to be like, I'm going to buy this loot box and I'm going to take a shot. It's going to be a straight up purchase, but I knew it was too good to be true when I saw Black Ops 4 come out without any extra way to get money from you outside of that crazy season pass. I knew it was too good. Yeah, there we go. I guess the 500 million in 3 days wasn't enough. They're going to obviously keep trying to get money, but it sounds like maybe you can earn a lot of this stuff without paying money. We'll have to see what the grind is like. We'll have to see if limited availability means it won't be available to play for. You have to actually spend $2 on a special spray or emote or something. There's a lot of questions to be answered. Just know, yeah, Call of Duty's getting the microtransaction. They're getting that put in there, and I knew it was going to happen despite it not being there, but conveniently enough, wasn't there for reviews, and it's there a month later. Huh. Very convenient. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for Newswave today. If you enjoyed this video, guys, hit the like button. It really helps out. If not, hit the dislike. Leave comments down below about everything we talked about today, whether it's Wargroove and Shakedown Hawaii. Maybe you wanted those to come out this year. Maybe you wanted Wargroove to come out back in 2017 when they originally said it was coming out. It's probably going to be, I guess at this point, it'd be delayed about 1.5 years technically. As long as it comes out Q1. Let me know about that. What about the Amico, the Intellivision system? Seems a little weird to me, but maybe you have some ideas and thoughts about that. And then, of course, Black Ops 4 microtransactions. Are you surprised? Probably not. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.